Viewers, welcome to the Breaking the Chains. Here, I'm live at Kawur, Turekunda. With me here is Abdoulie Jallow, a young, active politician doing everything good for his country. It's a pleasure to have him here. Abdoulie, thank you for being here.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Jan.
First, who is Abdoulie?
Abdullah per se, I can just say it's a young, passionate Gambian, born and raised in Kauru, Turekunda. I attended my primary, upper, and senior in Kauru here. And, it was a very good experience. Though, during our childhood life, everybody would want to go out and do the schooling in Combos or, Amitate. But personally, I decided to stay because I was so attached to my mom. Yes, I attended primary, upper, and senior in Kauru. From there, I had no choice but to leave. Even though, I was so attached to my mom, but I had to leave for education. I migrated from the rural area to the urban, the urban migration. Went to the Combos, I was staying in Abuko, I started tertiary institutions. I attended a lot of tertiary institutions. Yes, first, because I was a commerce student.
Okay. Oh, you were a commerce student?
Yeah, I did commerce.
We got there because he was a commerce student. Now I'm asked, really politician. I don't understand how that came, but you explain it.
Yeah, yes. Many people are surprised. Sometimes, like my students, if I tell them that I was a commerce student.
I never knew that you were a commerce.
Yeah, I did commerce in Kauru Senior. Okay. Then I moved to the Combos. I started commerce programs. I study international. I study at international university. Okay. And also,
what were you studying?
I studied at SEC, International Community College.
Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yes, human resource. I did human resource management.
Okay.
From there, I got my professional diploma in HR. From there, also, I started bachelor degree in business administration at IOU, International Open University.
Wow.
I attended IOU 1 year, 6 months, because by then also I had passion for politics.
Okay.
I applied to the University of Gambia. First, I was rejected.
Wow.
Yes, commerce students and politics. But I was, never give up. That's the mantra I always, go with. I tried another chance. While I was at IOU, I was attending also Alliance Francaise. I did my basic French language, level 1 to 5, that is A1, 1.1, A2, something like that. I did the international exams called DALF. I was also attending Humanity First, ICT. I did a certificate and diploma in ICT. The second chance I tried, political science, I was admitted. Wow. I can remember the joy that day I was sitting with my friends. I just received a text message that your admission has been approved for political science.
And that is the very reason we are bringing up this show, because it is breaking the chains. The point is, a young person who have aspirations, have hopes, who have dreams, but in his first instance of applying for a high education, he was rejected simply because his system said he was not going to, or he is not qualified to be that which he wanted to be. Because of what reason did they give you?
Yeah, I was not given any reason why I was rejected. I was asked to go and ask why I was rejected, but I never did. But since then, I had in me that one day I'll be admitted at the University of the Gambia. I decided to focus on other programs, you understand? Doing my ICT, my French language, IOU, it seems that apply another chance,
This is beautiful, but it seems to me that because of that rejection, you have to go round.
Yeah, I was even told to, check on some people that would try to help me to be admitted at the University of the Gambia. But I had that, mindset. Why should I look for other people to help me when I already got the admission?
That is the norms of the system, that sometimes you cannot get to somewhere to have something done until you know someone there.
But the funniest part is, you're talking about breaking the chains. Could you imagine? Because, while I was attending university also, I wanted to build my self-confidence. And all of a sudden, I had passion for teaching. When we finished senior school in 2014, most of my friends went to Gambia College. That was a norm in Code Senior. Sometimes it's the administration that would even help students
To go to the college.
to go to the college, straight from senior school to college. But, because of family issues, maybe, my mom and others, they never wanted me to, venture into the teaching field.
Okay.
Because, my brother, it's a teacher and you know what happened. You understand? But while at the university, I had passion for, teaching. I say, what can I do? Should I wait until I finish university and look for teaching job? Or I said, let me try and apply at the college. The funniest part is, while attending Gambia College, university, I applied at the Gambia College to teach English language and PE, physical education. But unfortunately, I was rejected.
So you mean you wanted to apply to study? Oh,
Yeah, I wanted to apply and study as a teacher.
okay. But you were rejected again.
I was rejected.
On the basis of?
I had no reason. And the funniest part is, because I recited English, I got victory in English language. PE, I got A1, but I still was rejected to study English language and PE at the university, at the Gambia College.
You must understand that this is just one apply out of 1,000 applies that were they rejected simply because the so-called requirement that they put in place to say that if you don't have this, sometimes it's not about requirement, sometimes it's just, I don't know what the system is all about, just to reject people because they were needed to be rejected. And we have so many people who are there who have no requirements. They've been absorbed.
I know my friends, I know my former classmates. I got better grades than them, but they
And we are accepted.
yes, when I was rejected, you have some people from this area who were teaching or lecturing at the college. I decided to call somebody. I will not mention them, but it still stick in my mind. Just to explain my situation to him because right then he was lecturing there.
He was a lecturer at the college.
Yes, he was
Or at the university?
Gambia College, at the same time also university.
Okay.
So, this person have to tell me that, you have told me before you apply and other things. But what I told myself is that,
Why should I tell
why
you?
should I tell people to help me get something when I know I have to get it? Because I believe if someone is admitted at the university, what will stop that person being admitted at the Gambia?
I don't think. Nothing to stop the person.
But the beautiful part is, when I have passion for something, I always go for it.
Go for it.
You understand?
And listen,
Never discourage me.
listen, the point is, your passion should drive you not to be stopped by anybody, any system, any constraint from pursuing your passion. And Abla is an example. Of course, with all the hurdles, with all the obstacles, denying him all access, say, okay, no, I will not allow anybody to constrain me to move to the next step. And really Abla did that.
Yeah. I never wanted the system to dictate what I should be. Could you imagine? Despite the fact that I was rejected to be a certified teacher trained at the Gambia College, which was meant for teachers in the school, because School of Education is meant to train to nurture teachers. So when they go back to the system, they'll be able to they'll be able to be productive, state minds. But I was never discouraged. While I was at the university, I was fortunate to be part of the students that were selected to work at the National Assembly as interns.
Okay, you worked at the National.
Yes, I worked there for 6 months as an intern from the University of the Gambia.
Okay.
But while I was there, I had some connections, some links, and also I was working in one company, as the accountant, LBS company. But
here is a politician and accountant at the same time. It's fine.
yeah,
And
what we do is just recording.
The beautiful part is he is a human resource manager. The boy is an accountant. Now he's a politician.
Yeah. So while I was working in that company, there were a lot of things that were going on, and I was not comfortable with it. I could have stayed and get a lot of money. You understand? But the passion was not there, and also I did not want to be somebody that will be eating something. At the end, you will be accountable, whether here or hereafter. So immediately I graduated from the University of the Gambia. I got my attestation. Could you imagine? You know how I got to be in the teaching field. While I was in office,
Tell us.
as an accountant,
Tell us.
LBS, I saw one of my friends send an application to the University of the Gambia, like social pages. And this man, like he's teaching in Nasir. I saw, Nasir, they are looking for government and civic teacher.
So it's like there was an advertisement for
Yes.
for teaching
Yes,
government
history
at Nasir.
At Nasir University.
Okay.
I never, heard about Nasir and other things.
That was the first time.
Yes. While I was in office, I saw the advertisement. I said, I have to try. Immediately, I drafted my application.
Okay.
I drafted, proofreading, applied my CV, I sent it. That very day,
Wow.
I was called. That yes, you have gone through your CV, think you are needed in the school.
Okay. That's the time you were.
Yes. My people, my family, I tried to manipulate them just to get in Basse. What I told them is, I'm going to Basse for a mission. I did not tell them I'm going to, they have to teach.
They were not going to
Yes. So I told them it's my company that sent me to go there and do some work. Not because I want to lie to them, but it's because I wanted to look avenue that will help me to transition from where I was to what I have passed on for. So while I was there, I started teaching. It was a very mixed feeling though. Yeah, it was a very mixed feeling. Venturing into the teaching field for the first time.
Now let's put it there. The point here is the very system that rejected Abdoulie from getting to the Gambia College to be trained as a teacher is now the very system that accepts Abdoulie, who is not trained as a teacher, but who is now a qualified university political science student, and now is absorbed by the very system. You see how contradictory the system. He reject you, he accepts it.
That's it.
That's the hypocrisy of the system. And that is not only Abdoulie, I think many more people are suffering from the same thing. The system will reject you until you build your potentials, then they start calling.
Yeah, because immediately I reached Basse, Nasir, I had to go straight to the classrooms because they were in need of civic teacher. They had in need of civic teacher. But in as much as I have passion for it, and I've been doing presentations at the University of Gambia, you know how it works there. If you are passionate for something, you always go for it. They will give you assignment and you try to be there, always leading, because you have some people that are reluctant to present and things, very lazy. Others are lazy, others it's not because they are lazy, it's because they don't have that self-confidence.
Or they have not been exposed.
Yeah, they're exposed. So that's how it started. And now I'm part of Nasir family.
Yeah.
And
I know you're doing
my
well.
mission was just to go and maybe end the academic year. From there, I'll try and go for my master's. You understand? But immediately I started building that connection
With the student,
with the students.
they love it.
I was feeling difficult,
Yeah, to leave.
despite the fact that I have the opportunity to leave. But it will be a very hard moment for me whenever I'm trying to leave Nasir. So I know, I'm playing my part. That is Abdoulie for you. Someone who was rejected by the system.
By the system.
To be a trained teacher at the Gambia College.
I'm not only to be a trained teacher by the system, but also to be an accountant at the university.
Yeah, anyway, my brother wanted me to do ACCA. For example, to be an accountant, chartered accountant, something like that. The person was not there. And, of course, gone for it. But anyway, ever since I had passion for politics, because through politics, you can be able to do a lot of things for your people, because you have like a bigger, wider platform whereby you
Express your views.
express your view and help people that you're supposed to help when it comes to governance and a lot of things. That's Abdoulie Jallow for you.
That's Abdoulie Jallow for you, and we'll be back after the break. Breaking the Chains is a channel that is going to create the platform for which the system will be exposed and the black history will be taught. It's you, the one listening to me, watching this video, must be awakened. That is why I will recommend you to buy this book. This book is written by Chancellor Williams and is entitled The Destruction of the Black Civilization. Black people must begin to dig deep and understand who they are. If we understand what life and death is, we will be free entirely
I call this platform Breaking the Chains because our minds have been shackled by chains of lack of thinking, chain of inferiority. But that chain, if it is broken, we are free and free forever.
Welcome back. We're still discussing upline. After you shared your foundational background uh, from being a child in Kaur, you did your schooling, no, entirely in Kaur. Now you went to the urban area, things become difficult. You moved from one institution to another institution, trying to equip yourself with the relevant, substance needed to serve your country. And now today, you are a teacher at Nasir Senior Secondary School. You know, the point is, through the journey, if you have to analyze yourself, what has been the most difficult, or let's say challenging time during this period?
Yeah, it was a really great experience though, because sometimes if you know where you are from, you'll be ready and have the courage to face challenges and overcome them. Not challenges trying to discourage you, because I know where I came from. When I was in Congo, I know I left my mom and my dad in Congo, and my mom struggled for us, not only me, but for us to be better people in the society and to change the narrative. And pretty much, by then we are so used to this playing footballs and other things. So when I went to Congo, I had friends because I was staying in Abuko. Abuko is the first place I know to go.
Okay.
Mhm. So I had friends that were into football. So that friend also continued from Kauru to Abuko playing football. Because by then I used to go to school 2 days in a week at ICC International Community College. I had the opportunity to relax a lot. So instead of focusing more on my education, I was focusing more on football.
Okay.
But there was a moment when
Could that be peer influence?
it was not peer influence because it was something that was in me while I was in Korea. So I just went there and I believe that in Congo we have greater opportunities, avenues, platforms whereby you'll be able to showcase your talent when it comes to football. You understand? But there was a moment when I came for holiday. While I was going back, my mom, I don't know, maybe, it came to her and she asked me, my son, I hope you are paying attention to your education. You know what took you to come up. Honestly speaking, I cried because I realized that I was not paying much attention towards my education. Since then, I decided to back football. Even to watch it was a problem. So I was going to school. So the little allowances that I was having, could you imagine? I was attending Alliance branches. I think each level used to be 2,000 something. I used to have allowances. I would accumulate it and pay for one level. If I finish it,
So you did it yourself?
yes, because
So means like you pay your
and
education.
how it used to, how it used to be. Because my mom is having a brother, my uncle. Sometimes allowances, he normally said my mom allowances, and my mom will take half of that money and give it to me because life was very difficult. I was, I was not staying with any family member. I was staying with somebody, and uh, we are renting. Though the rent was paid by, my sister's husband,
Okay.
and also our feeding and the likes. But things were difficult. You understand? So the most challenging part used to be sometimes lack of money,
Finance.
finance, to either use it for transportation or for feeding. Because life in Congo, it's not easy. I used to eat bread and butter a lot.
Brought and better
Because it was very cheap.
Yes,
You
sir.
understand? It was very cheap.
Yeah.
So sometimes you would wake up, no money, and you cannot just score more just like that because you know the condition on the ground. And also to make her have that, peaceful mind. I decided not to be calling frequently because you know how our moms are. If you keep calling frequently, they'll be worried. You understand? So sometimes I just punish myself. And you know, when going to school, sometimes I walk from Abuku to Latakunda to attend morning first. Though that place is not very far, but sometimes also from Westfield. Attending Alliance, you walk from Westfield to Abuku because no money pocket to pay for fare. And sometimes you will feel sad to look for leaves. That was in the beginning. But when I get used to common life, you see me on top of pickups.
Sure.
Yeah, doing a lot of things. You know, but it was very challenging. But Alhamdulillah, today I'm here with my certificates, with my degree, and I'm working, trying to help myself, help my family, and also help the people that I'm supposed to help.
Now, I want you to let's go through the point, because if you look at most of the social amenities, most of the opportunities are scarce here.
Yes.
In the rural area, you'll find a system that has taken the most of the amenities, social amenities that are needed for the development of young people in any society is concentrated in the urban area. And that will cause you and I, who are in this area and have dreams, to leave this area and get that area and do the struggling. You understand? You take that kind of system of not decentralizing of amenities, universities, colleges all over this country, that I who does not have any relative there, will go there and be struggling financially to rent a house, struggling financially to have food to eat, struggling financially to transport from where I am to the destination of the institution I am going to learn, struggling with the finance to pay the tuition fee.
You know, it's something that the government should look into. Decentralization is very important. You know, as civic teachers, sometimes when we are talking about teaching local government, we talk about decentralizations and rights, because that's the essence why the central government decided to create local government councils. You understand? And here also we have to be realistic. Sometimes also these councils, they are not doing their job as expected, because some of these recreational centers is the work of the area councils, not the central government. Though the central government is their job to support, but
But are they really getting the support?
yes, that one also it's a correction.
Special.
It's a correction.
Because usually, I'm not cutting you short, usually it's politicized. If the one that is elected is not part of the ruling central government, usually, or he's not born into the party, the person will usually be denied. So that probably subsequent election he will remove, so that we can have another person substituted from the.
But Mr. Jawad, I will beg to differ in that, or especially if you are looking at Gambia as a context. Let's look at the Gambia right now as it stands. We have area councils, local government councils in this country. If you look at it, even the local government councils that are led by oppositions are doing better than the councils that are led by the people that are part of the incumbent party. Let's look at our area council before we jump to other places. We are all from Kundor Area Council. The chairman of Kundor Area Council is part of what? The ruling party also. Can you compare our council with the Gama Area Council? We can't even. Though we have to be realistic and objective in our analysis. The amount of tax that these two councils, Brikama and Brikama Area Council and Kames Canopy Municipal Council, the amount of tax that they are collecting is bigger than that of the Kunto Area Council. But sometimes also that's where leadership comes in. You are in a council that is not having a lot of things that will serve as a source of revenue. We need you to come up with what? Think intellectual pedigree to come up with avenues whereby we will catapult the council to another level. You understand? And the thing is, there are a lot of problems in these areas. And even the electorates, we have a role to play in such. Because sometimes we say the local government councils are responsible for local developments. But how can you have development in your localities when you do not elect the right person to go and represent you? The kind of politics that is happening in this country, I think we need to shift to another level. Because you say local government councils are responsible for local developments like construction of markets, parks, boreholes, and the rest. But now, in your ward, if you have a ward councillor who cannot write even an informal letter or even a proper text message, do we expect that person to be in the council, represent your ward, draft projects? Because when it comes to development, you can just go to the council and say, give me $100,000. My people need this amount of money. It has to be in the form of a project. And the unfortunate part is some of them, they cannot do the job, but they don't want to work with the people that have the knowledge and understanding in order to bring certain development to their people. Because of ego. My friend, you cannot do the job. It's true. You are the one elected. But please try and work with people who can do certain things. But that's how leadership comes in.
Okay, let's come there. Because I love the argument. But you look at most of the ward councils, the councillors, and you look at the chairman of the area councils. Where are they from? From a political party. Wait, you're from a political party. Meaning the political party has not done their job. Make sure the person we are putting in to be our representative for the people is qualified. Because if you look at most of the councillors are from a political party. You have very few who are independent. And usually the independent ones are competent.
Yes.
If you look at it.
Yes, and the problem, where the problem lies is when it comes to their selection, primaries. Because
What is it based on?
yes, one, sometimes the one that they will be going in for, it's either helping them privately or because they have some social connection and the rest. Because these political parties also, they have their executives at local level, the state levels and the rest. Those are the people that are taxing the responsibility of selecting a representative. So, let's look at our areas. CRR, most of these councils, there are two councils in CRR, as Jamboree and Kundu Area Council. Especially Kundu, I have keen interest in Kundu Area Council because sometimes I normally can follow them on their page. Even the one handling their social media, sometimes the language, even the wording, simple missing is a problem. So, and if you look at it sometimes,
And these are people who have gone to school.
Going to school is one thing, but understanding.
So do you want
things that you learn?
Do you want to
Because
tell us?
that's what do you want our education system?
Do you want to tell us that therefore?
Yeah, some people they just pass. As the saying goes, some people will pass through the school, and others the school will pass through them.
But why? Because you're going to have a kind of a system that allows that. Let's for instance, probably those are people who will be part of education system that tell us, let my people go. Without any kind of yardstick to say, no, you cannot go to the next level because you are not qualified to the next level. Listen, let me come before you come there. Because the hypocrisy is this. Grade 10, grade 1. There should be requirement of transition from grade 1 to grade 2, from grade 2 to grade 3, from grade 3 to grade 4, as we have a transition from grade 12 to college. Because if you, from grade 12 to college, there is a requirement.
Yes, there is.
Transition from grade 12 to college. Why is that then there is no transition required from one grade to another? Probably those people are victims of the majority of the classroom who are always at the back. Usually you have a kind of system, you are teacher, kind of a system where the system is only telling us focus on the very few who are top, committed and ready to understand. The rest, leave them there.
That one also we need to look into that.
Probably those councillors are bad.
Even us as teachers, sometimes we are biased.
It happens. Systems tell us to do that. Just like the system is biased, then compel everybody to be
Because sometimes you go to a particular class, you know that you have few students that are sharp, brilliant. You focus more on those students. And that should not be. You are paid to do the job. Though sometimes, it gladdens the teacher's heart.
But let's put the fact here. Like, you are teaching students, 60 students in a class. Just imagine, 60, you are teaching 60 students. You know, if you are teaching a little bit, you know what I'm saying. If you have students also in a class, you know what I'm talking about. That a 60 student population will be in a class, right? And that 60 students, one teacher. And remember, most of the 60 students in that class are not qualified to be in that class. So it exhausts me to be concentrating on all of them when there are few who understand already and the rest are wasting these people's time, making me even more upset to put things to the other students. Why? Because the system is not put in place to make sure whoever transition to the next grade, you are qualified to move to the next grade.
The issue of mass promotion should be looked into. It's not doing good for this country. Because if you look at it, just look at the schools that are performing better.
That's right. But they put standards.
Either private school or board. You have few public schools that are doing somehow better.
And if you look at those public schools also, you have
Some of these public schools,
you have a management.
one feeding the board schools and the private schools.
And if you look at those public school impact, they have a management that is not compromising with standard.
Yes. I can use my school as an example. They don't compromise with standard.